welcome to The Link this evening. And we will discuss exports, imports, but we have a special guest in the studio today to tell us especially about the country of Turkey and how trade and business and investment can go on concerning that country, but in a moment. Welcome back, and tonight my guest is His Excellency the Ambassador of Uganda to Turkey, of Turkey to Uganda.
That's correct.
Ambassador Kerem Alp, welcome.
Thank you.
We don't have many minutes usually on this program. Let's start straight away. What kind of opportunity does Turkey offer if I'm an exporter and I want to export to Turkey, compared, for instance, to the EU? If I want to go to Turkey, what are the opportunities for me?
Okay. The advantages that you will find in Turkey is that Turkey is an accessible country. It's not far away from Uganda. We have Turkish Airlines flying every day and cargo flights that facilitate exports. So Turkey is a big country, about 80 million people, 4 million refugees, and we host about 42 million tourists every year, which means that there is a big market. So in this big market, we basically need everything. We import and we export everything and anything. It is at the crossroads of Asia and Europe. Therefore, there are many opportunities for exporting. For the Ugandan producers, most particularly, I would recommend fruit and vegetables, because I'm here, I tasted myself. They are really good. I didn't feel like I ate a pineapple until I tasted one here in Uganda. So there should be a market for that, and we do import fruit and vegetables, organic stuff as well. Meat and dairy products, I have to recommend Uganda for the perfect production of these goods. They are very tasty. They are built in. They are in very good organic farms as well. It is more difficult to access the Turkish market, in any market, in meat and dairy products. But we have some experience. We have had delegations with other countries whose development we wanted to help and assist. So we can make derogations. Leather is a big possibility. Is a big market in Turkey, because we produce garments, we produce shoes, millions of them every year, tens of millions. So your leather is good quality and can be exported. Compared to the European Union or other countries, well, Turkey is a member of the customs union with the European Union. Therefore, our production is in line with the European Union's capacity. At the same time, our regulations differ, because we are not full members of the European Union. Therefore, we do have the standards in production, but for importing we can have more flexible rules. That depends on the agreements that we will strike with Uganda, but I see a potential there for making derogations in these fields where Uganda can find a comparative advantage.
Your Excellency, somebody is going to be listening and saying, okay, that's good information, I have fruits. What would it take first of all to start to export, let me say, tomorrow or next week or next month?
They need to find business partners in Turkey. In order to find business partners in Turkey, one doesn't sit in front of the computer and just send emails around. They have to be on the ground. So the opportunities that we as the embassy can provide, and we have had already 2 business fora here, one in May and one that was yesterday and on Monday. They can come and participate in this business fora that we are organizing here, and they can meet with the Turkish business people to whom they can sell their products. What will be more efficient though is go to Turkey, meet those people for themselves. We as the embassy can help them. We are going to organize some Expo and fora as well for the Uganda businessmen. And your listeners should not be afraid of visa difficulties. Visa is easy to get for Turkey. I'm trying to help it out. It is not very expensive, $60 for a single entry, $200 for multiple entry. That can be 1 year, even more. So if they really are genuine in their interest, they have to come to the Expo, the fora, that we provide for them, and they have to go to Turkey and search for partners.
Let me say I missed, Your Excellency, the forum maybe which has just happened, because they have gone back perhaps. Can I still come to the embassy and be assisted?
Yes, on a personal basis it was a bit difficult, because we are not a big embassy. But to the extent possible, we try to answer all the mails or phones that we received to the embassy. What I would recommend them maybe is to go talk to the investors that are operating already in Turkey. Maybe meet some Turkish people that are already here. But to the embassy, I don't want to promise the moon to every listener, but we can try to help them.
Unfortunately, give some direction.
We can give some direction, yes, at least.
We are talking now, we have been just talking about Uganda exporting Turkey. Let's turn around and talk about Turkish inward investment. What are your areas of interest inwards to Uganda from Turkey? And if a Ugandan wants a partner with Turkish investors, what should they do?
If they want to bring investors, once again, the starting point is meeting people, participating in Expo, having this personal contact. That is first thing. Second is to probably, they don't need much convincing because we already do that. Uganda is a very safe, very peaceful country, so the Turks are already very keen and interested. They just need to find the right partners. If these right partners can be found through the umbrella organizations such as the Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the Private Sector Foundation, and the Turkish counterpart of these, which are DEİK, MÜSİAD, TÜSİAD, these organizations can bring people together, because a single person finding a customer or an investor in the middle of this huge ocean of business people, it is difficult.
Okay.
I recommend these chambers and organizations that can help their members. Be members to these organizations, and you will be provided the right information, the right directions through them.
Okay, very good. If I was going to export to Turkey, let me say I have the partnerships, what are some critical things for me to take note of culturally and otherwise? Because that's kind of important.
Yes, true. Your investors or traders need to know that Turkey is a big country. It's a Muslim country, but it is not an Arab country. So the big challenge is to discover what Turkey is. So you will need Turkish translators, interpreters. Homework, exactly. Some of that will be necessary. Some homework will need to be done. What else can I say about that? Yes. We have many people who are educated in Turkey. They are graduates. They have had education in Turkey through scholarships. So those people can build those bridges. There is not going to be a major challenge or discrimination, because as I told you before, 42 million tourists visit Turkey every year. So we are used to having many people from outside. People from anywhere. We are used to have people from anywhere. So that won't be a big disadvantage. One thing that they will find is that we Turks, we drink a lot of coffee. Okay. Yes.
Not a bad thing, eh?
Yeah, it's not a bad thing. And in terms of per capita consumption, if I'm not wrong, Turkey is #1 consumer of coffee. And when I look at the figures of Uganda, Uganda's biggest export produce is coffee. But there's no coffee trade between Turkey and Uganda. So when I look at these figures, I see there is a big gap.
Opportunity.
Yes, and for meat as well, it's the same thing. So one can start with coffee.
Okay. Earlier on, as we were having a chat, Your Excellency, you mentioned integrity. We cannot pass over that. Why is that important?
Integrity?
Yeah, being honest.
I think because of prejudices most of the time. One wants to earn quick money. Also for Turkish exporters, the same thing. They want to come in, sell one container, and then take the money and go away. But this is not a sustainable model of development. Sustainable model of doing business is not that. So we try to invest in the serious people who really want to have, a win-win situation. Trade that can continue for years and not just one-off. People, this is I think the area of capitalism. Make quick money and run away with it.
Not sustainable. Lastly, Your Excellency, briefly tell us about the upcoming Uganda-Turkey Business Expo and what you want to achieve with that.
What we want to achieve is basically have Ugandan traders and producers go to Turkey, because when I have a delegation that comes here with 20 people, maybe they match with 100, 200 people, and from among them they find a few partners. But if I can bring 20, 30, maybe 40 people to Turkey, we will be able to present them to 200, 300, 500 people maybe. They will see for their own. They can present their produce, and they will be able to meet much bigger number of investors and traders in Turkey. This is what I want to achieve. I want them to discover Turkey, to see the potential for themselves. I want them to meet the government officers, the Ministry of Trade, the Ministry of Economy, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, so that they can understand better in what kind of environment they are working. So basically it will be a fact-finding and partner-finding mission.
Okay. So if, I guess, some people may scramble and want to be part of the delegation now. How might the itinerary look like roughly?
The itinerary looks like it will be a five night, 6 days trip.
Yeah.
So one goes to Turkey. The first night we will travel to Ankara. We will meet government officers, and that same night we return back to Istanbul.
Okay.
The next day we will have a business forum, opening speeches by these umbrella organizations, the chambers of commerce and this and that, so that the companies can also present themselves. In the afternoon, they will have B2B meetings,
business to
business meetings in different tables, in a conference center or something like that, in a facility. The next day, they can continue their business to business meetings, but what would be more productive would be to go around to visit the factories, to visit the offices, the production facilities, manufacturing plants. Yes, so we can have them go around the city to see their partners' businesses, to understand whether they're genuine or not. Okay. We will have one day of social programs for those who have already found their partners, or who have given the hope they can have a Bosphorus tour, they can visit the nice cultural places in Istanbul, and the last day they can do some shopping, and in the evening they will be coming back to Uganda.
Okay. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Turkey is an opportunity. Normally, if you want information about countries, you go to the embassy. Now, this particular ambassador has made an exception to come to you to explain opportunities about Turkey. You've had information, and if you have missed it, you can find this conversation after it's done on YouTube. That was the link, and I hope you get some opportunities. Thank you for joining us tonight.